I saw on Twitter the other day, and then probably on YouTube and whatnot, but I saw a video of a woman be interviewed and asked, does it make a difference, the person you're dating, if they have an Android phone or an iPhone? And she said, if you have an Android, I can't trust you. Now, that sounds like trust issues already, but
definitely
the reason she stated is that Androids are more complex phones, and it'll be harder to find out if someone is cheating or talking to someone else, and she doesn't trust that aspect of the phone, where the iPhone is more user friendly and everything is out on Front Street. But obviously there's a new update that just came out for the iPhone.
I was about to say, there's a new update.
Now you can hide apps and use face recognition to open apps. So I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know how old the video is, but does the person you're dating, does it matter what phone they use? And if so, why? Okay, no.
I could care less. As long as you're able to talk to me, we can always FaceTime. I know, because Android has their own version of that or whatever.
And people use WhatsApp a lot too.
Yeah. So like, I mean, does it really matter? No, because if I don't trust you, I'm not gonna date you anyways. I'm never gonna snoop through somebody's phone. I feel like that's just a barrier that doesn't need to be crossed in a relationship. If you're with each other, you're with each other. And what's the song? I don't want to know. If you're playing me, keep it on the low.
I don't think that's a good. No,
can't take it anymore.
Nah. Don't you want to know,
baby? No, I don't.
You don't want to know if you're being used and abused. And
you better hide it to your best abilities, because if I find out, I'm out of there. There's no crying. I'm leaving.
I need to know right now, because then I'm wasting my time. What if it's like 4 or 5 years and they're just using you and you don't know, and you think everything is sweet? But you don't know. But you don't know.
But I'm saying, don't let me find out then. Keep it on the low.
Wow.
I'm not gonna actively look for it. Hold on. I'm not gonna actively look for it to break my own heart. But if you let it be known,
I get what you're saying. Like, you're not being an investigator. I
don't want to know. Yeah,
no, I get that part. But if you start noticing a couple of things, don't that start clicking in your mind, like, something don't seem right, and then you like pull up to the job on the low tip, with the glasses and the baseball cap.
No, but now you're wild. I'm not in the MCU trying to hide from the public. No, I'm not doing any of that.
No,
like I said, I don't want to know.
Damn. So if they're that good of hiding it for years, you'll never know.
Hey, have fun, life. Shorty. Go do your thing. If we're both happy at home, have fun. If I don't find out, you did your job. You feel me?
Wow,
do
Chris, that's crazy. Whoever decides to date Chris, please don't cheat on him, man. Because when he finds, I'll be heartbroken for him.
Like, if I find out, though, I'll be all right. Life is life. I'm out.
But what if she's like, yo, for the last 10 years, and you have kids and you're married, and you're like, damn.
Then I'm taking her to court and be like, listen, she's a whore. She was doing this, that, and the third behind my back. I found out, and I left, and I want my kids. We out. Let's go. That's it. I can't listen. Am I going to be hurt? Of course. I'm not going to be like, oh, thanks. I'm going to be hurt, but I'm not going to, like, actively looking for that issue is just not something that I want to do. Right?
Do you feel like there's a woman trait, or both sides do it? Both
sides do it. Both sides do it. There's no way. I feel like women are more slick with it, right?
Okay.
What messes up the men more is when they make the other person like feel like they're the one, right? Because then they come out and they're like,
psychology.
Listen, woman to woman, your man was eating my butt last night. You feel me? And then now it's a big problem, because now they want to be number one. They're gonna mess up your number one relationship at the crib. You feel me? Me personally, I don't have a cheating bone in my body.
Okay.
It's too much work, right?
It is a lot of work. Enough. Yeah, it is.
One woman is enough to deal with. Trying to balance two and hide one is just, leave me alone. Yeah. All right. I'm too. Leave me alone.
Now,
but listen.
Does it go a bit far when you start asking to share your location? Like, hey, I want to know where you are 24/7.
The sharing the location thing is half and half, right? Because depending on what you're asking for. So for me, I would want my woman to share their location. Like, if I'm not with them, just in case, God forbid, something happens, right? I would want to know, like, hey, she was here.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that goes on nowadays. I'm not going to actively track you, right?
Yeah.
But I know, like, friend groups that do it too. like my cousin and her friend group, they all share each other's location for safety purposes. Do they get nosy sometimes? Sure.
Like,
I mean,
yo,
everybody
why you at Starbucks?
Yeah. Like, yo, you spent 2 hours over here the other day. Well, who was you with?
Who was you with?
It can always get, that's why I say it's 50-50, because it could always get to the nosy point. But for safety reasons, I don't mind sharing location. Listen, I'm boring. I don't go anywhere. You can track my location. Guess where I'm gonna be? Right here. You know, I'm gonna be home. I'm a homebody. So I mean, that's why it's always 50-50 with that, because there's multiple reasons to share location with somebody.
So when I started dating my wife, she had an Android phone, and I was like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work out. You know, because we were talking to the Tinder app, and then we exchanged numbers.
Switched over.
Yeah, and I saw the green bubbles. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. You know, but years later, what was it, like a year or two later, Jess? It was probably like a year later. She then got an iPhone, and it made life easier, FaceTime, because then I had to get the WhatsApp, and I hated. I only had WhatsApp for her. And I hated it.
Right.
So it didn't, like, it wasn't an ice like breaker. I don't even think I'm using the right term, but it wasn't anything a deal breaker, not icebreaker. It wasn't a deal breaker. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. It wasn't a deal breaker, but I would prefer an iPhone. It just makes things simpler for me, being that I use iPhone when it comes to FaceTiming, and I don't need another app to do all these other extra things. And it wasn't an issue. Now, my wife does also share her location with me, but it's not something that I asked her to do. She just did it willingly.
Right.
And sometimes I don't even look. Like, I'm like, what took you so long? She goes, oh, if you saw, I was in traffic. I'm like, oh, okay. I forgot that you still share the thing with me. I don't share with her. I mean, if she ever asks me, I don't care. I literally go to work and I go home.
Right.
Like, there's never a place
I'm bored, baby. Yeah.
I'm never in the mindset. I'm like, you know, I'm going to go somewhere special tonight, and she's not going to act. Like, come on.
Right.
Like, you know?
Right.
And I don't think that's an issue, but I don't think what phone the person uses should determine your status in your relationship.
Like, obviously, if I have an iPhone, if she has an iPhone, it makes things a little bit easier.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but it's not
going to be like, yo, I'm not going to talk to you ever again.
Like, you put in your dating app, like, no Androids allowed. Like,
right.
Come on.
That's insane.
Yeah, that makes no sense.